Hello students, I hope you all are utilizing your time to improve your basic learning and writing skills. So in previous chapter we discussed about types of plants, root and shoot system and their functions. Now in today's sessions we will discuss lesson 8 of your textbook, that is body movement. So in this chapter we will learn about movement in human beings, that includes description of skeleton, parts of human skeleton, then cartilage, joints of the body and different types of joints. Let's start with introduction. When we move our mouth, when we chew food, we move our head up and down while saying yes, or we move our head from side to side while saying no. We move our arm at a shoulder while bowling a cricket ball. We bend our fingers to grip an object and we move our legs while walking. So these are just some of the examples of our body movement. Now when we move our body parts like mouth, head, arms, hands and fingers etc., then our body may remain at the same place. But when we walk by using legs, then we move our whole body from one place to another. So the ability of a human being or an animal to move its body from one place to another is called locomotion. And it helps animals to shift from unfavorable environment to a favorable environment, escape away from their enemies and for searching of food. So human beings or other animal shows basically two types of body movements, that is movements of body parts like mouth, head, backbone, legs and foot etc. Second is movement of the whole body from one place to another, which is called as locomotion. So in order to understand how the movement of our body parts and locomotion take place, we should first study the bones present in our body and the various type of joints which exist between the bones and the muscles which make the bones move at joints. The bones form a general framework of a body is called skeleton, and our bones are filled with a substance called marrow. We will now discuss all these things one by one. Let us start with the skeleton. Okay, if we press our fingers against the top of our head, face, neck, shoulder, chest, arms, fingers, feet, we feel some hard substructure inside them. These hard structures inside our body are the bones. Actually, our body is supported on a hard framework of bones that is called skeleton. And in human beings, the skeleton is inside the body. So it is called an endoskeleton. Endo means inside. That why it is called endoskeleton. You might have seen the X-ray images. That X-ray image shows the shape and number of the bones in the various part of our body. It is usually taken in hospital to find out whether the bones of a person has been fractured or broken during an accident. And there are 206 bones in a human skeleton or human body. So this figure describes the human skeleton. The skeleton consists of skull, backbone, ribs, breastbone, shoulder bones, hip bone, arm bones and leg bones. See, the human skeleton consists of a strong backbone which has a skull on its top end. As shown in diagram, skull at its top end. The skull has eye socket, upper jaw and a lower jaw in it. After that, ribs are attached to the upper part of the backbone, forming a rib cage. Then there is a breastbone. It is called sternum in the front of the rib cage, At the lower end of the backbone is a wide and strong structure called hip bone. Now see, just below the neck there are shoulder bones on both sides of the skeleton. The shoulder bones consist of two bones, collarbone and shoulder blade. Now about upper limb. Upper limb of a human body form a shoulder to the hand and it is called an arm. There are two arms in a human skeleton, and as you can see, each arm consists of three parts: upper arm, lower arm and hand. The upper arm consists of a single bone called humerus, and the lower arm is made up of two bones, radius and ulna. And the hand consists of various small bones which form wrist, palm and fingers. Now about lower limbs. The lower limbs of the body on which a person walks or stands are called legs. There are two legs in human body, and the two legs are attached to hip bone of the skeleton by ball and socket joint. See in diagram, each leg consists of three parts: upper leg, lower leg and foot. The upper leg is from hip to knee and it consists of a single bone called femur. Femur is also known as thigh bone. Then lower leg from knee to ankle, and it consists of two bones, tibia and fibula. And the foot consists of the various types of small bones from ankle, middle part of the foot and toes. Now about all these functions, what are the basic function of skeleton? Skeleton holds the whole body together and gives it a shape. It protects many delicate internal organs of the body from outside damage like heart, brain, liver, lungs, spinal cord. Skeleton provide numerous points of attachment of muscles of the body, and along with muscles, skeletons helps in the movement of body parts and locomotion. So this is all about the skeleton. Now we will describe some of the parts of the human skeleton. Let us start with the skull. Skull. The bony part of our head is called skull, and in Hindi it is called as khopri or kapal. It is made of 22 bony plates joined together, and our brain is inside the skull at its upper part. Okay, and brain is made up of soft tissue which could be easily damaged without a hard covering. So basically skull protects the brain. Skull also protects the main sense organs like eyes, ears and nose, and skull gives shape to our head. So these are the main function of skull, that it protects the brain, it protects the sense organs of the face, and skull gives shape to our head. Now moving towards backbone. Okay, about backbone. If we put our fingers at the center of the back of our body and move them up and down, we will feel a hard and long structure in the back of our body. So this is our backbone or spine. It is a long, hollow, rod-like structure running from neck to the hips inside our body. So backbone forms the main supporting structure of the body, and it is not a single bone. It is made up of 33 small bones placed one over other. So these small bones which make up the backbone are called vertebrae, and between these vertebrae cartilage are present. And these discs of cartilage allow the vertebrae to move slightly or bend easily forward or backward. Now suppose what will happen if the backbone was made up of only one long bone? Obviously we will not be able to bend our body. Our backbone support the head at its top. And one more thing, there is a hollow center inside the backbone and the spinal cord. Spinal cord means the main nerve from the brain. It passes inside the hollow cavity of the backbone. So the function of backbones are: backbone provide main support to the body, backbone support the head to its top, it attach shoulder bone, ribs and hip bones, and it also protect the spinal cord. Clear? Now next is about rib cage. Okay, if we take a deep breath, hold it for a while and move our hand on the chest, we will find a number of bones on the chest region. These chest bones are called rib. Ribs are the curved bones on our chest. It exists in pairs and there are 12 pairs of ribs on the chest of the body. There is a small bone called breastbone in the chest region. In the chest region in front of our body. See as given in figure, breastbone. The hollow bony structure formed by the rib is called rib cage, and it protects the delicate internal organs like heart, lungs and livers. It also takes part in our breathing movement that we will study in detail in higher classes. So about all these, the main functions of rib cage are that it protects the internal organs of the body such as heart, lungs and liver, and it also takes part in our breathing movement. Now about shoulder bone or shoulder girdle. Shoulders are that part of body to which our arms are attached, and the human body has two shoulders, one on each side of the neck. See in diagram, there are two shoulder bones, collarbone and shoulder blade. It is given in figure. The collarbone is long curved bone. One end of the collarbone is attached to the shoulder blade, and the other end of the collarbone is fixed to the breastbone of the rib cage. It is basically for support. And the upper arm fit into the socket of the shoulder blade, forming a ball and socket joint. And the main function of shoulder bones are that collarbones on the two sides of the neck keep our shoulders apart. Shoulder blades attach the arms to our body. Shoulder blades provide side for muscles attachment, which help the movement of arms, necks and upper part of the body. Next is hip bone or pelvic girdle. The hip bone forms a large basin shaped frame at the lower end of the backbone. The hip bone is also known as pelvic bone or pelvis, and it is not a single bone. It is made up of number of bones fused together by fixed joints. It is also a part of skeleton we sit on. The thigh bone of our legs are joined to the hip bone by the ball and socket joint. Actually, the hip bone forms a link between upper part of the body and the legs. So its function is that the hip bone supports and protects the lower organ of the body like intestine, urinary bladder and internal sex organs. And hip bone attaches the legs of our body, legs to the body, and it provides site for the attachment of muscles that helps in the movement of legs, hips and trunk. Now next part is bones of the hand. Okay, as you know that our hand is made up of three parts: wrist, palm and fingers. So see carefully the diagram. The wrist consists of 8 small bones known as carpals. The palm of hand is composed of 5 longer bones called metacarpals, and the fingers means including thumb, are made of joint bones called phalanges. So there are 3 bones in each finger, but the thumb has only 2 bones. The wrist bone means carpal form movable joint with the bones of the forearm. Due to this, our wrist is flexible. And there are 5 fingers in our hand including the thumb, and thumb is the shorter than other fingers. So this is all about the parts of human skeleton. Now about cartilage. Most of the skeleton consists of hard bones. However, at some places in the skeleton there is a material which is not as hard as bones and which can be easily bent, and it is called cartilage. Cartilage is a kind of softer and elastic bones. It helps to bend without breaking. And where it is present in our body? Cartilage is present in the penny of the ears, means upper part of the ears. It is found at the end of the nose. Cartilage is found at the end of bones where they meet one another at a joint, means at every joint cartilage are present. And cartilage are also present between the vertebrae of backbone. Now about ear. The upper part of our ear is called pinna and the lower part is called earlobe. See in diagram it is given about pinna and earlobe. If we press the pinna of our ear and the earlobe between our fingers turn by turn, we will find that the pinna is harder than the earlobe. You might have done this also, that earlobe is more softer than pinna. This is because the cartilage is present in the area of pinna, and cartilage gives support and shape to the ear and it make it flexible. That is why we can bend the pinna of our ear quite freely without the danger of breaking. Same as about nose. If you feel the end of your nose, we can bend the nose easily. There is a cartilage in the end of our nose, and the presence of cartilage gives support and shape to our nose. Cartilage is also found at the joint. So cartilage is smooth, and the layer of smooth cartilage reduces friction and allows the end of bones to move easily over each other without damaging them. And one more thing, the presence of cartilage discs between vertebrae makes the backbone flexible so that it can bend easily. The cartilage disc also absorb the shock when we run, jump and do other such activities. So this is about cartilage. It is present in the pinna of the ears, end of the nose, bones where they meet one another at the joint, and vertebrae of the backbone. Now next is about joints of the body. So our skeleton is made up of hard and strong bones, and bones cannot be bent. So we can bend or move our body parts only at those places where 2 or more bones join together, and such places are called joints. For example, we can bend our arm at the elbow because the bones of upper arm and lower arm form a joint at the elbow. Now about joint, it is a place where 2 or more bones meet in a skeleton. Joints basically helps the bone in body movements, and the amount of movement depends on the type of joint. We can move our head, arms, hands, legs and feet because all these parts have bone joints. Okay, at the end of the bones forming the joint, these are held by a place by strong connective tissues. Means the bones that are attached at a joint, they are held together by a strong connective tissues called ligaments. And these ligaments forming the joint and prevent the bones from falling apart during the movement. So it is elastic and it can stretch to let the bones move at the joint easily. There is also a thick oily liquid between the ends of the bone. And this oily liquid lubricates the cartilage at the end of the bones and reduces the friction. Now, types of joints. The main types of joints in the human body are hinge joints, ball and socket joints, pivot joints and fixed joints. We will not describe all these type of joints in detail one by one. Let's start with the hinge joints. Okay, about hinge joint, why it is called hinge? If we open and close a door, we will find that the door can move only forward and backward. Actually, the door is joined to its frame by a small metal joints called hinges. And these hinges allow the door to move only in one direction. And we also have some bone joints which move like a door on its hinge. So a hinge joint allows the movement of bones only in one direction, that is forward and backward direction. The movement of the bones is restricted to one direction by the shape of the ends of the bones. So in our body, hinge joints are occur at elbow, knee, finger joints and jaw. We will not describe elbow and knee joints in detail. See, first about the elbow. Let us try to bend our hand at the elbow. When you bend it, we will find that we can bend it only in one direction, that is forward or backward. This is because our elbow is a hinge joint. And basically this happens as the lower end of the upper arm bone is in the shape of knob. See in diagram, knob is given. The upper arm form a shape of knob and the upper arm of the lower arm bones is in the shape of cup. So the knob of upper arm bone fit into the cup of the lower arm bones and form the hinge joint at the elbow and show the movement in one direction only, forward and backward. Same as about the knee joint also. Now let's try to bend our leg at the knee. We will find that we can move it only in one direction. The knee joint is a hinge joint. See in diagram, here also knob and cup is present. At the knee, the lower end of the upper leg bone, that is thigh bone, is in the form of knob. This thigh bone is in the form of knob and the upper end of the lower leg bones is in the form of cup. Now the knob of upper leg bones fit into the cup of lower leg bones. And as I told you earlier that at the place of joint ligaments are present. So the ligaments holds the upper leg bone and lower leg bones together at the knee joint so that they may not fall apart while the knee bends. Clear? The joints between the bones of our fingers allow only a hinge-like movement. Next joint is ball and socket joint. Okay, about ball and socket joint. One end of the bone has a round shape like a ball which fit into a socket. Socket means hollow space. Socket in the other bone. So in ball and socket joint, the bones can be turned in any direction. Means forward, backward, side to side and even rotated. The shoulder joints and the hip joints are the ball and socket joints. The ball and this ball and socket joint allow the maximum variety of movement as compared to other types of joints in human body. So now we will describe the shoulder joint and hip joint in detail. First is about shoulder joint. See this diagram. If we stand up and move our arm around at shoulder, we will find that we can move it forward and backward and from side to side, and we can also rotate it. This is because shoulder is a ball and socket joint. See here how it's formed. The head of the upper arm bone is like a ball and the shoulder blade bone has a socket. Socket means hollow space in it. At the shoulder, the ball of the top end of the upper arm bone fits into the socket of the shoulder blade. Clear? Ball of the upper arm fits into the socket of the shoulder blade to form a ball and socket joint, and we can rotate it easily. Now about hip joint. If we stand and move our leg around at the hip, we will find that we can move it forward and backward and from side to side, and we can also rotate it. This is because hip joint is a ball and socket joint. As similar to shoulder bones, the upper end of the thigh bone is a round like a ball, whereas the hip bone has a socket. Okay, the thigh bone has the ball and hip bone had the socket. See in first diagram, in first figure it is shown about the ball and socket joint. Now in second diagram, at our hip, the ball on the top end of the thigh bone fits into the socket in the hip bone to form a ball and socket joint. Clear? Okay, next joint is pivot joint. See in diagram, it is present between our skull and neck. Pivot joint allow rotation around an axis. It exists between skull and the neck. Okay. How it show the movement? The pivot joint between the skull and neck allows our head to bend up and down, turn from side to side. Means in two directions, up and down and side to side. The pivot joint occurs in the forearm, means lower arm near the elbow also. Okay. The pivot joint in the forearm that have radius and ulna bones to twist around each other. So from this discussion we conclude that the pivot joint occurs in the neck and forearm. Now next is about fixed joint. Fixed means immovable joint. In some joints, the bones are held so tightly together that they cannot move at all. Such joints are called fixed joints. They are immovable joints, and the function of fixed joint is to provide strength, support to the body and to protect delicate organs like brain. which cannot withstand any kind of deformation. So fixed joint occur in our skull, and what is the function of skull? It protects a delicate organ of our body, that is called brain. Okay, if we open our mouth wide, we will find that we can move our lower jaw away, only lower jaw, but the upper jaw does not move at all. Have you ever tried this? While talking, while eating, it will show movement only in lower jaw. We cannot move the upper jaw because it is connected to skull by the fixed joint. Thus, there is a fixed joint between the skull and upper jaw. And about the lower jaw, because the lower jaw is connected to the skull by a movable joint called hinge joint. And the property of hinge joint that it allows movement only in one direction. It is clear? The immovable joint, that is example of immovable bones is our upper jaw, and hinge joint is present in our lower jaw. So fixed joint also occur at the hip bone, and the fixed joint between the various hip bones make our hip very strong. And the hip bone is also connected to the backbone by a fixed joint. Clear about these types of joints? Okay, that's all about human skeleton, parts of the human skeleton and different types of joints in the human skeleton. I hope you get it properly. Now in next session of the video, we will discuss about the next part of this chapter, that is muscle contraction, bending and strengthening of the arm and movement in animals. Till then, stay safe and keep learning. Thank you.